Hello everyone, it's Melanie here. How are you all doing? I hope you've had an amazing weekend wherever you are. Today, after I've had some discussions this morning with different people, and I wanted to share things around that people are wanting to have more around heartfelt communications, to have more around authenticity, to really connect with people because people are really in this moment now of really wanting to connect with people. People are being honest, transparent, that they're speaking from the heart, and there's no BS about what is being conveyed in people's message back and forward. And I know for a lot of you in here as well is around that authenticity, and it's something that's so passionate for myself, and being able to share more around stories, but really being able to share, being honest, being transparent, and really sharing the things around our own lives where we might have times where we are not 100% on the ball, or and being okay with sharing those things as well with people, is that we're not perfect, we're human. Even myself, there's always times that are challenging, and things that are going on behind the scenes as well. So what I wanted to share with you is that around that authentic speaking, and around having more around wanting to be and speak from the heart, well, what we really need to begin with is we need to come out of our heads and we need to come into the hearts. So I have spoken about this many times, and people that have taken part in my challenges, is that I say we need to start coming into our hearts, because the more that we're in our own heads, the more we get caught up on things around what are we going to say, what are, how much will I say, like really coming from that kind of analytical space. Is that yes, it has a purpose, and yes, it is there for a reason. However, in order, in the way in which we speak and we engage, is that we want to be able to have it coming from our hearts. So, and when we do, it's going to reduce the stress, the anxiety, all of these things that can be going on for you leading up to, during, to afterwards. So, I want you to think about is that maybe next time, or you've just recently done any speaking, is that I want you to think about is that if you have something coming up, I want you to check in with yourself. And I want you to check in, and are your shoulders, do you feel like they're like up here? Are they down here? Does your jaw feel like it's starting to lock, and really start to become aware of certain things that you do when you're in that space of anxiety, when you're in that space of stress or fear or frustration or anger, or any of these things that can be happening when it comes to you to be speaking on camera, speaking in person, whether it's one-on-one or to groups, then you really want to be able to become aware and identify. Because if you are in a space where your shoulders are up here, your jaw is like locking, and you're so tense, how can you then communicate from the heart and really speak from that place of authenticity? It's going to be really difficult to do that, because your body is in such a tense situation that there's just no way that your heart's going to be like, hey, we're going to open, because we're literally so tense. So I want you to start identifying is that recently, or anything this week or in the next couple of weeks, even if it's in the prep and you're preparing to do something, like how are you feeling in that moment about it? Because you cannot change the way in which you perceive around your speaking just by thought alone, because there's emotions that are tied to potential fear, to potential anxiety or stress that you could be facing and have done for such a long time when it comes to speaking. So the only way to be able to change that is we need to come out of our heads, and we really need to start focusing our attention on our hearts, because our hearts actually talk to our brains. So our hearts are so vital and important to our communication, because our communication starts and our hearts talk to our brains, not the other way around. So the more that you can tune into your heart, the more that you are going to be able to reduce the stress, reduce the anxiety, being able to get yourself in that space around authenticity, around being able to really speak from the heart. Then it comes from coming into your heart. And I have been doing a lot of studying over the last few weeks, last few months around this. And I will be being able to do a lot more of this, because I am going to be certified to really be able to do this. I have a few people who I'm testing out right now, but it's something that I'm so passionate about, because our bodies and our brains and our hearts are so complex. However, there is tools available to be able to help you in that moment, before, after, and during, that's going to be able to help you. So let me know in the comments. I know there's quite a few people joined, is that when it comes to speaking, do you ever find yourself, or do you ever kind of perceive that I'm not going to remember things? So your memory could potentially be shut off, so that you don't know what you're going to say next. You'll lose your train of thought. Your memory starts to lose around, as well as that you don't access certain parts of your brain, so you might get confused around your communication about what you're saying next. What am I supposed to be doing? Someone interrupts you and you can't come back to what you were saying. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found yourself in those positions, or you're scared that these things could potentially happen to you. So there's reasons behind that as well, is that when you're in a space where you might be stressed, anxious, fearful, frustrated, all of those emotions then shut off parts of our brain, parts of our heart that cannot speak to each other. So it starts to be able to shut down how you're speaking, how you're retaining information, and how you're going to be able to deliver that. So that's why it's so important. If authenticity and speaking from the heart is so important to you, then really start connecting with your heart in that, and reach out to me if you do want to know more about this, and then we can have a little bit more of a chat around the tools and things that I'm now giving to people around this. But really check in with yourself around, do you feel tense? Where do you feel tense in your body? To really start to be able to relax those areas, so that when you are speaking to people, then you're going to be able to be relaxed around that. Let me know in the comments as well if being more relaxed, enjoying it, being present in speaking to people is something that you would love to be able to do. And speaking to people and also clients that I have is around, people get really exhausted before they're speaking, during, and afterwards, because again they're putting so much pressure on themselves around what they're doing. So imagine that if you are one of those people that just find that you are exhausted whenever it is that you're going to have to be speaking in public or speaking on camera, that you just feel exhausted because your energy moves into that survival state, that it's not there to give you the happiness and the excitement and the joy and the compassion around what you want to share with people. So let me know if you'd love to be able to change that energy and feel more invigorated and more happiness and love and joy around what you are and what you're doing around speaking. Then let me know as well, because I do have tools out there that can help you be able to change that and change that in real time. But that's really what I want to talk about around authenticity and speaking from the heart. Then it all starts with your heart, which means you can start connecting in the hearts of your audience and the people that you are going to communicate with. So have a great day wherever you are, and I look forward to chatting to you all again soon. Thanks everybody for watching. Bye.